John 3:16-21, For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For every one that doth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God. Sunday, November 17, 1968, John 3:16-21, H.C. Satan. Are all men saved by Christ as they perished through A.M.? In trying to answer the question, I would like to zero in on one verse in particular, verse 19, and this is the judgment that the light is come into the world, and men love the darkness rather than the light, for their works were evil. It is a very strange verse. We might expect it to say this is the problem, light is come and men love the darkness, or we might expect it to say this is the situation, that men love darkness, but instead it says this is the judgment. So we have what seems to say that darkness is its own punishment, that is, men loving darkness have their reward, namely darkness. There is light. Christ brings light. His birth, his life, his attitudes, his values, his miracles, his teachings, his words, his death, his resurrection are all joined together to make a floodlight for man. They tell men the truth about life. They show what man is for, who he is, what he ought to live light, what his problems are, and the solution for it. That is the light. Light shows the way. Light brightens the darkness. Light removes our fears of the unknown. Light picks us up and sends us to our work with new understanding. The light shines on all men, and we see them too. We understand who they are. We see them in a way that sends us running to them. Embracing them, the light shows us what it means to be really great, namely to be able to be small. So we have light. Christ is Mr. What it is all about. And the reward for coming to the light is light. The punishment, if you want to use the term, for not coming to the light is to remain unenlightened, to remain confused, misguided, hopeless, uncertain about what is really good in life, never knowing the nature and fate of man. Now is it not a sad thing that we should get hung up on questions such as whether or not Christ is the only way of light? And people will say, isn't there another way? Now the reason they will ask for another way may be because the church has made itself the light, or the light has been labeled Christ, but has in fact been a denomination or Western culture that is being promoted, not Christ. Then with good reason, people sensing a ridicule or condemnation of their culture will reject what is called Christ. Or another reason may be, as the text says, men love darkness. There is an attraction, strange as it may seem, for staying without light. All men do not come running toward truth because men are not naturally true good. So for some reason there is this strange desire to find another way or to believe there is another source of light. While the light floods out, men with a strange perversity or for some other reason look around in the opposite direction and ask, isn't there another way? Analogies is that a man from some reason is terribly weak. His muscles will not hold him up. He can hardly lift his arms. He is told there is one thing that will help him: exercise. Exercise alone will give him strength. But now the man says that seems unfair. Why should exercise have exclusive ability to strengthen people like me? It is not fair. I will try reading instead. And he dies. Did he die because exercise got angry at being neglected and punished him? No, he died from neglecting the only way to gain strength. Medicine. A man is sick and he is told medicine alone will cure you. But he says, that seems unfair. Why should medicine be favored so? I will try recreation instead. So he did, and he died. Did he die because medicine slightly decided to punish him? No, he died because medicine was his only hope, and he neglected it. Another man wants knowledge. He is told there is only one way to get knowledge. It is through learning. Well, that isn't fair, he says. Why should learning be the only way? Isn't that being rather exclusivistic? I am going to try gaining knowledge by sleeping instead. There is no reason why learning should be the only way. So he dies, stupid or ignorant. Did he remain ignorant as a punishment from learning, who got angry at being neglected and decided to kill him in his sleep? No, his ignorance was a consequence of his own unwillingness to take the obvious way. Now here we are, not really wanting it, yet obviously needing to know what life is all about. We need light. The strength and the health and the knowledge and possessions are senseless unless we find out what it's all about. There are obvious unanswered questions in this life, and into this puzzle, this darkness, this confusion, this groping comes Jesus Christ, and light is given. And it is given in a way that no other man or prophet or teacher has ever given it. Teachers and prophets have come and gone and continue to come and go, but there has never been one who has brought good news from God without price, one who has brought dignity to the down and outs, acceptance to the dirtiest of minds, forgiveness to the crookedest of crooks. There has never been one who has spurred men on to heal and discover and love, to bless everyday labor, and not just the hours of meditation. So, when a man comes or asks, which he doesn't often do, what is this life all about? What are the answers to some of these nagging questions? I feel we can say he wants enlightenment. And So we say the answer is found in God's answer, which was given in Jesus Christ. You will show any man what it is all about. But then he says, well, you mean Christ is the only answer. And you say, well, it is the only one I know, and he answers all the questions, solves all the problems. So if you want light on those questions, Christ seems to be the answer. Well, he says, is it that being a little unfair, a little too exclusive? I don't think I want any of the kind of approach. So he goes on as he is, trying other ways, trying his own answers or forgetting the questions as much as he can, and he lives and dies unreconciled. He stays in a stream of darkness, confusion, hopelessness, and what is true of this life merely continues to be true, for life is of one piece. Now what has happened has Christ, hurt by neglect, angry at being mistreated, condemned him to remain in darkness. This is the judgment that the light has come into the world, and the men loved darkness rather than light, for their works were evil. So if the question, are men only saved through Christ, implies Christ who in an angry way turns against those who slight him by neglect, the question is certainly a bad question. But if the question means, is there any other perfectly satisfying answer to man's problems that will do as much for man, the answer is no. History proves this. Observation proves this. Experience verifies this. Regardless of the horrors which have also arisen in Christian nations and among Christian people, it is just possible that when the roll is called up yonder, there will be others there than those whom we think will be there. But even then, they will be there only because of Christ. Only because somehow they have caught a glimpse of the light in the world, though they may have other names for it. But it is of no value to speculate on the constituency of the next life. The question is what can lift man, guide man, give help, health, strength, joy, hope to men for these days. What a tragedy it is that men love darkness rather than light. This strange perversity keeps them from coming to the light. But it is more than a strangeness about men that holds them away. I'm afraid there's something about the church that says you should stay away from it. I can't share with many people this light. They are sure I'm after a membership or a tithe or don't like their morals. That's their fault in part, but mine too. It's the church's fault when its history finds it carrying portable organs into the jungles as if organ music and psalm singing is part of the light. It is the church's fault today if we carry Bart and Fanny Crosby with us as if they are essential to the light. When our youth rejoice with guitars and folk songs with a message of their own, we bring good news, light, a great new understanding. God in Christ, bringing men back to full humanity, to live with assurance. The big job is not making people believe some statements so that when they say I believe that statement, somehow they get a ticket to heaven, which they sort of tuck away for the time being. The big job is spreading the light that Christ brings. If in this incredible mystery men run from the light, that is their business. But yet they argue in, because the light has sort of a package deal and a LOT of fine print with IT, such as the light includes assent to a whole lot of church things, sort of as a precondition to getting the light. Woe to you, as may God help us to see the light, to let the light shine, to distinguish the light from that which bears the light, know and show what it's all about, that man may have light.